Hey guys, today we're going to go through Bryan Adams' classic from the 1990s, Everything I Do for You. This is going to be another fingerstyle song, and because these are progressive lessons building from the very first time you pick up the guitar up into many, many years of playing, over 400 videos now, this is going to be way beyond the beginner. So if you are a beginner checking this out, please just bookmark it or put it in a file, or just remember to come back and keep working your way through the whole series. Beyond just running through the facts of the song, there are a couple of strategies I want to talk about and teach you in terms of learning this. Sometimes it would make sense to skip the intro and just get into the verse and play the melody. As you know, one of the best things to do is play through the melody alone and then start to try to hear it with some of the background. But there's a technique in the intro that I'd like you to see. Mostly we want to make sure we're playing our actual chords. So here you see a D chord with the 2, 3, and 2. The picking pattern is going to be a pinch of the outside strings of the D, 4th string and 1st, and then play 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 2nd string, and then one more bass note. You can play 3rd string and 2nd with your fingers, or you could go 3rd string with a thumb as well. So this would be thumb with the index finger on 2nd string. I think I prefer to play the 3rd and 2nd string with the index and middle though. So I'm doing a pinch with my thumb and A finger, and then index, middle in here. I'm going to skip the 16ths on beat 4. Let's look at the A chord now. You only have 2 fretted notes, these 2s, so you could put your fingers only on those if you like, or grab the entire A. I'm not sure which one I will do at this point. Usually I grab the whole chord. But notice the picking pattern is the same. We're going to play a pinch, although the A has a bass note on the 5th string, and then 3rd string 2nd, 3rd string 2nd, and bass again. So I practice both bars. D, ending with that bass note on the and of 3, and then A. Now, so again, skip the 16ths and go to the G over B. We've worked our way down now, so we're in the middle 4 strings, as G over B always is. A 2 on the 5th string, a 3 on the 2nd. We're going to move our picking down into the 4th and 3rd strings, but the pattern's still the same. Pinch, and then the interior notes. I could move my entire system there, so I'm using all the same fingers I used on the others, but I'm not going to. The 4th string is going to be taken care of by my thumb. So this will be thumb in middle, then thumb, index, thumb. Hear what happened with our top note. It's worked its way down. Listen for that when you hear this. Again, we're going to skip the 16ths for now and look at the last bar. It's an A bar. Let's do the pinch, the low A and the high E, and then play 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. I'd say 2nd again, except we're changing chords. Now play the A, pinch, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. So you get... It's the same pattern, we're just truncating it. So here's the D again, and with the bass, A, G over B. These A bars, sus, A. One more detail in the A bar is they're not just pinching the outside strings. So that we hear the sus right away, we'll hear this 3 on the 2nd string, and then hear the 2nd of the A chord. There I may or may not play a full chord. So that gives you something you should look at right away. Rather than having to read each bar and decipher it fresh every time, look at how that pattern has repeated. We're doing the same system. And that gets most of our intro. Then we'd better take a look at the 16th notes. These have been 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 eanda we need now. And that's going to be hammer-ons and pull-offs. I've got the D chord with my middle finger on fret 2. Move Move that middle finger to fret 3 and hammer the 5th fret with your pinky. Then play the 3 again and pull it to the 2. 4E and 4E and so here's that bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4E and now we're on the A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4E and the 4E and on the A. Pinky should hit the 5th fret. Hammer on. We have time to move there from here because we have this open A string. While we move, we hammer on, then hit it and pull off. One little warning about my own playing there. Because my right hand anticipates the notes it's going to play, I often cut this note off. First of all, it's hard to get a good hammer-on with your pinky in the first place. And I found out that when I went to play it, I was touching down with this finger to get ready to play the next 5. So make sure those get coordinated. Hammer, pluck, pull. So here we have the D and the A. Now the G over B. So on G over B, I usually do the D with my pinky. So it's still sitting there. And the 4-ianda is the pinky note, the open, 2 pull off, right into the A, with a sus, and then normal. So here's your intro. And then we can move into our verse. Here again, I think we should look at the melody alone. So it's on the top here. Look into my eyes. So on the top string, 2E and a 3E and, with a hammer on from 2 to 3, the F sharp to G. Pull off F sharp to open E. Then again, landing on the D. Look into my eyes. You will see. So we have a dotted 8th on beat 2, 2E and a 3E and. Here's your 2 phrases. 1 and 2E and a 3E and 4 and 1 and 2E and a 3E and 4 and. Now the G chord, open B. That's going to be a dotted quarter, a beat and a half. 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. In between we have filler on the G chord, D and G notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4E and 1. Another pull off move. Rest through that whole A bar until beat 4. 4E and a 1E and. So that's where we are here. Beat 4 again. 4E and these A's are and when you find me there. Find me there. You will search no more. Let's hear the entire melody again. You want to get used to it. Now we change positions up to this 7 and 8. We have to get up there because we'll have a B note on the 7th fret of the 1st string, so we have to be up in this new position. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. Start on the 7 of the 3rd string here. Other than the fact that we have that extra pickup note, it's the same phrase. Here we are again, 7 to 8. Put your pointer on 7 and play in position there. 2, 3, 4, and 8. Now during these opens, we move back to first position. On the and of 4, you know it's true. So we've hit this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and one of our hammer-ons with the 16th notes. I've underlined this A. When I'm picking the chord, that A doesn't seem to stand out melodically. Here I even put the lyric in here. I do it for you, because I want to remember that that's a word. I do it for you. Let's come back to this A on the and of 3. 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3. I do it for you. Lots of filler and repeat a verse. The next time we'll go into a bridge in a new key, and we'll save that for another day. Right now, let's go through here and pick out the melody with the bass line now. D, A, 1, and melody. Pinch on this melody note with the D again. 4 and is just like 1 and, it's just time on the D chord. And we go into the A chord. D went D, A, the A chord goes A, E. And then its melody. Here's the 2 bars. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and A. 2 and 3 and 4 and G. Sus. So here's the D again. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and A and 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and G and 2 and G over B, 4 E and A, sus, resolved, 4 E and a 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 2 E and 3 and 4. Melody. So I'm using the same finger when I get to the A right here, so I got the pointer waiting to wrap around onto the 4th string. Now I've still got the A here. Da, 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 G, climb to an A chord, G over B. I don't necessarily grab a D immediately, but I'm working toward it. Let's hear all of that again, and then we'll go into the E minor where we change positions. 3 and 4 and... Notice while we play the open A, we move to this F sharp in position 7. I'm going to play this lead into the D again, all the way into position 7. A, open, jump, E, D and E, filler, D, same, E. Notice last time on these open notes, I stayed here because I need these 7s. Now I'm going to have to be back at the first position, so during the opens, I'm going to move there. here's where I lose my melody. Here's the A with the sus. I want to hear the word I there. So I might put a little breva here, a little pause, a breath before that A, or I may actually pause into this. As long as I can hear there's something special about this A, it's melodic. I do it for you. This is filler. I could pause on my way to that A. Then I can hit the melody note immediately, but you hear it standing out. Another thing I can do is just try to do it with volume. Just hit it harder. And then we're back up there. So let's try everything we have here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Let's hear it one more time. 3, and 4, and...